Tuko na soko kuanzia hapa DRC, hao watu wako na 90 million people hawana ng'ombe moja. Hii DRC watu ya kuimba hii. Kina hii watu ya sijana kwanda bongoma nani hawa wa kuimba. Na wanafunga suruali wanafungia hapa.
Dr. Otto, kindly withdraw your statement.
As a deputy president of this country for 9 years, so what is it that he can offer something new?
Wewe ni mshanzi sana. Ambia atori rishwa. Ambia atori toka. Ambia atori kwenda.
Ndio sisi tunataka hii azimio ambayo itatulete pamoja.
Lero ni lero.
Dunia nizamishe ama uniweke niishi peke yangu, kwani ninapomwamini kila binadamu mwisho ananigeukia.
Simekaangwa tayari.
Nitazame nani ni mwalimu nani wananigeukia.
Mtu akishaitwa mheshimiwa, mustahiki, excellency, mara baba, wengi wanakuwa na ulevi wakasahau kuna Mungu.
Lakini mwanamume mzima kupapasa ndevu atakapofika sultani akisongea hivi sultani,
kila kwenye msitu kuna the king of that jungle. Naona msitu wa Pwani, the king of the msitu ya Pwani, this jungle called Coast Region, it is none other than Ali Hassan Joho.
Na mimi nataka niwaambie, mimi Yesha Jumwa sipapasi ndevu mwanamume yoyote. Mmesikia kazi?
Unaanza kuangalia kama ni Joho, wacha tumlime ndio tuokoki. Hamuokoki, kama wakufa tu.
Pia watajua hawajui.
Hello there, and thank you so much for joining us. You're watching my show Prime Women Talk, where real women engage. And thank you so much for those who have been participating by sending their feedback, their messages, questions concerning the topics that we've been covering. We say thank you and continue doing so. You can engage with us: Facebook, Maisha Television Kenya, YouTube, Maisha Television Kenya, Instagram and Twitter at Maisha TV KE. And also you can send your feedback or question on 0746 999 841. My name is Rida Tibet Kering, and of course I'm not alone in studio. I'm joined by Irene Mumbo Bushedi. Welcome, Irene.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much, viewers, for being there for us every other day. We bless the Lord for you.
So today we are going to talk about a topic which is related to something that we tackled some time back. Not even some time, it is related to women in leadership. So today our topic is women and politics. Did you come and listen?
It's almost there.
Wanawake na siasa, ile wanawake na uongozi. So today we're going to talk about women and politics, especially at this time when the country is getting towards the August polls, that is general elections. So Irene, as we start, can you gauge the participation of the women in politics currently in our country?
Okay, I can really say that the presentation now, or the representation of women in politics, is not badly off, though we are still not yet there. So basically we are just saying that we still need a lot of effort so that we can get more and more women there, because I know where women are, things sometimes work out well. So we still would want other women to get into politics. So I would not say that it is really good but not bad. So we are in between there, but I know we are on our way to the exact place.
And there's this position, the women rep position. Can you say that maybe that is something that has added the number of women there in politics?
Of course, yes, because we know that back then maybe we could just have 1, 2, 3 of them who were really daring to get into politics in different levels, maybe up to where maybe we say an MP or somebody like that. But now we see there's a slot for just women. So basically that's a slot which we know that women will be there. And so means that the presentation or the representation of women in politics has really been escalated in terms of the number of women now that are represented in politics. Yeah.
And many governors we've seen majority men, and baadhi yao walioteua wanawake kama naibu wao, and I was seeing somewhere where the women, the deputy governors wenye ni wanawake, they were complaining that they are being demeaned. Maoni yao haisikiki. Anajaribu kusema let's do this, as in mwanamke anasema nini. Can you say that maybe that is also a challenge? Wanapewa ile positions but
they can do nothing.
Kama to
a puppet to be operated. Yeah, sure. I know where men are, and basically if the man is in the helm of it, then a woman, you know, trying to get your way through would always be a big thing, unless the man that is over you is a little bit understanding. But basically we go with the fact that, you know, women are not supposed to be listened to. But if we get men who are now understanding, then we can talk of, yes, they can be listened to. So as you're saying, women deputy governors, I think they are going through some tough time, because they really have to convince their bosses that, you know, whatever they are giving out or whatever suggestion they are putting across is something that can work out. And maybe if on 1 or 2 occasions, whatever they suggest works out well, that's when you'll see that maybe they are headed in that direction, but up to a certain extent, you know. So I know it is still a struggle, because so many people don't understand. The only thing we understand as Africans is that man has to do these things, and he's the one who can do it good. So getting to a point where we can get men who can understand women in their positions is still an issue to grow into. So it's not something that we're going to push at once to work for us, but we can give it time. But basically we're still talking to those people who are there in terms of men to try and understand. We might be leaving behind some talent or something that is very important to the society, simply by saying that, you know, women cannot bring us something tangible. But if we can get to a level where we say, okay, maybe not, but can we give it a try? So we can get women getting to these positions and also giving their views, and then their views can be listened to, and we can see something good. Because I believe that when God was creating man and woman, he knew that we really need the strength of the two. Maybe not really so much pronounced, but to a certain level, then they should be listened to. Because even in a home, if I'm saying that only the man will be doing things, then it will not work out right for us. Yeah, so if we can compare from that level, because I know that is the unit of the society, so if we can compare from there, then we can talk of, you know, women or men need to listen to women, so that we can get to a certain level where at least we can be doing things without women complaining so much. And even the women, for us, I think we should not also keep complaining. Look for something that you can do, and then make these people come up for you, you know, or realize that there's some potential somewhere. And like, you know, just sitting there and complaining that they don't want me to air out my view. I think you can do something. And then when they realize that, you know, there's something here, then they'll come to you. So I think women, it's not just our time to sit there and complain, but let us do things. That they can be small things. I know we really know how to work with small things. So for the leaders who are out there or in politics, please, you can do something that will make or will be attractive to the men, so that they can source you. Because I know even when the governors were sourcing for women to be deputies, I think there's something they were thinking of. You know, and if maybe they've gotten to a point where they have not seen this thing working out, that's when now they sit back and say, no, maybe we don't need, you know, her services or something like that. So please, can you sit there and think of something that you can do? It can be a tiny thing, but it can really affect those people, and so they'll be coming for you. Yeah.
And in your position as a religious leader, do you encourage women to venture into politics?
I think it's not a bad thing, because people go to school for different maybe professions, and so if you've gone to school because of the politics thing, then why would you sit at home? So for me, I would be like, if there are those people who are really daring enough, I would say daring, because for women, we've not seen so many of them coming out, you know, proudly to say that we want to get into politics. But I'm saying from my position as a church leader that yes, if you've gone to school, because I know the reason why you go to school for this is because you have a passion for the same. So if you have a passion for something, you can follow it up, you know. And when somebody has a passion and is very different from somebody who's just been called in, you know, to just do something, or somebody who has been pushed to do something. So if you have a passion for it, that is, you went to school for it. It means from childhood, this is something you've been building, and now you know how to go about it. You know, so I cannot say that basically we are not going to let women get into politics, but I would say if that is what you really have passion for, then follow up for it.
Kuna mwimbaji ambaye anaitwa Munishi, nadhani mnamjua, and there's a song he say that injili siasa pamoja ni kama mafuta na maji, huwezi ukazileta pamoja, because you see the kind of things the politics is being associated to wizi, uongo, which is not actually related to haiwezi endana na ile Ukristo.
Yeah.
What do you say about that?
Yeah, I know that sometimes this is what we think, but if you're thinking from where we started everything, that is the genesis of everything, meaning God in it, we find that that is where we even find politics coming in. Because politics started by the enemy coming up and saying, you know what, I want to be like God, and now I have to get opposition, I have to get to a point of opposition or opposing who God is. And you know, so that is where we can say we are seeing the opposition or the politics thing coming in, and so it's something that has to be dealt with. And it has to be dealt with now from a positive point of view. And so when we are talking about this, we have to also put in mind that yes, these things that are coming in like corruption and, you know, wheezy, as you're saying, these are things that human beings have created themselves simply because they are looking into the negative part of it. But I would rather, if people get into politics, would you get there with the positivity that I want to change whatever, the perception of people, so that you can do something different. I know when they get there, I don't know what really happens. But I think if somebody would sit back and say, this is what I want to do, it is possible if you bring God in it and say, you know what, God, these are, because I know leadership, politics, God started everything. I don't think there's anything that we would want to say that started from its own. It started with God, because we've seen God coming up with these kings that were there, and he would help those ones who were really needing his help, and we see them prospering and succeeding in whatever they are doing as kings and even as judges. So we see God in it, you know, but with the positivity about it. So these other things that are coming in, because the Bible talks about, you know, when we are tempted, we are not tempted because maybe God is the one tempting us. We are tempted because of our own desires. So, you know, when somebody gets into politics and then they start having their own desires, which is not the desire of God, about them being there as leaders, then they'll mess it all up. But if we are going there positively and knowing that, you know what, this is the will of God, so we have to consult with God. I don't think you can go ahead and start stealing from people, you know, start being corrupt and doing things that are not right. But rather, you'll be there to change the society. You'll be there to see that the society is getting something better than what you are offering, maybe at the level that you are. So, okay, some of us Christians, we are so strict about it because we've seen what is coming out of politics in terms of the bad end of it, the negativity. But if only people would do it rightfully, I think even us as the church would be saying, okay, that is the good thing to do. So we as the church, I think we have to come from a level of, if we can get there, because I'm talking about now even our children who are going to school and study for politics, you know, if we can teach them from home that, you know what, you can do politics and you can do good politics. That is, the source of your politics should be God himself, so that you get there with the virtues, those things that are right for the society, rather than going there and join these people. Because my Bible also tells me that we should not be transformed by the things of the world. So when we get there and start thinking of, okay, this person, or they have cars, we need also to have these bigger cars, you know, that is where everything starts from. So it is about your own desires. You're desiring to be like the other person, rather than desiring to be more like God. That is thinking about the people who even elected you to put you there. Because we've seen in places where so many people were elected, got into their positions, and they forgot about their electorate, went out there and did their own things. After 5 years, they are now coming back slowly to talk to us again. So that should not be the thing, because I think that when you're being selfish, which is not a virtue from God. But if you're going to be somebody who thinks about other people first, then you'd be thinking about the electorate. If they got out, because I went voting, and you know, you are there in the queue for like forever. It's not getting to an end until you're told, okay, you go back, we come tomorrow. you know. And this is the person you're giving a job, and then he goes there and disappears. You'll see him again after 5 years, you know. So that is wrong. That is not a virtue from God. I think people really need to think about this, and then people will start looking at politics in a positive way, in terms of, yes, if we elect this person and he goes there, he will think of us in terms of coming back. We can sit down with him, we can talk, or her in that matter, we can talk and then come up with suggestions which can make a basis of whatever that they are doing out there in terms of even projects, running the government or whatever, the county government and every other thing that they are dealing with in politics. Yeah.
And they also say that when women get into politics, their behaviors change. Is this true?
Yeah, it's true. Because, you know, when they get there, and this is the same thing I've just been talking about, when they get there, they start likening themselves to others. And, you know, that is basically brings us to the wrong position of it all. And, you know, what can happen if you have maybe much more than your husband or any other person around you, and you don't know how to, you know, deal with it. You know, money, we are told money is good, but the love of money is the problem. So the moment people get money and then they start loving money rather than loving the people who are around them, then you find that there's a problem. So women also are caught up in this, that when they get out there and they start getting money and they start associating with other people, then they get to want to really look like them, be like them, until they forget about who they are from where they did come from. And, you know, when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about your family. I'm talking about, you know, your society. So when you get out there, you want to look like somebody who has been there. And I'm saying this knowing that somebody would be asking, and those people who are there, who taught them to be like that? You know, it's all about your desires. When you go out there and you start desiring things that are beyond you, simply because you feel you are in a level where you can accomplish this, then you know that you will be messing it all up. So if we are going to think differently, then it is for women that if we go there, please, don't start, you know, because somebody would be saying that maybe they are the kind of job they are doing, they have to go out most of the time, they have to do what. But I did say here, kama unaweza jiachilia kwa sababu ya kazi yako hivyo, why not, you know, give out yourself also for the family, yeah, so that your character doesn't seem to be changing, rather than you are developing it into something else because you're seeing other people out there and what they can do, and then you just want to learn from that rather than copy whatever they are doing. Because, you know, copy pasting, you copy something and you paste it in your life, it will really mess you up. You'd rather go with your life as it is, doing those things that are right. And, you know, one thing I do know with everybody is that when you're doing something wrong, you know. Hata mwendazimu akiua mtu sahi utaona anatoroka. Kwa nini anatoroka? Amejua anafanya something wrong. So that's why I usually tell people the consciousness is something that was inbuilt for each and every individual in this earth. So whenever you are doing something wrong, usitaki kuniambia kwamba hujui. Kuna kitu huwa inakwambia, hata wewe hujui Mungu ama unamjua Mungu, kuna kitu inakwambia whatever you are doing is wrong. And so if they start changing their character, they know they are changing, and they'd rather stick to something that maybe, I know in this world today, or the society that we are living in today, when you're doing something right, it's like nobody is applauding you. But when you're doing something wrong, it's when everybody is applauding you. And so people would rather go for that rather than do the right thing. But I'm like, if you want to venture into politics as a woman, please, can you get into those levels where maybe people are not really applauding you, but in the long run, they'll realize what you are doing. And so many people will really appreciate for what you did do at that time.
Yeah, and talking about behavior, also the family, does politics affect the marriage life?
Yeah, of course it will, because as we've observed, we see that when you are in politics, like now, everything is up in the air, and they have to be all over. They are going up to the ends of this nation, then coming back and all. And you know, when you are doing all that, it really takes a lot of your strength, your time, you know. And so I know such at times the couples are really feeling it, because, you know, when somebody leaves, huwezi jua atarudi lini, unajua. So there's something that really affects the family. But with all that I'm saying, and I'll repeat this, that when you get the time to have for your family, please dedicate it to the family. Don't just come there because you've come, but please try to dedicate that time to your family. You know, and also, as we did mention here, these things start from the heart. If your heart, you know, you are out because you know your job, yeah? But your heart should be with your family everywhere you're going, knowing that I'm a family woman. So when I go out, let me present myself as a family woman, you know, rather than, you know, when you're out there, you've forgotten about everything about your family until when you'll come back. And even when you'll come back, you are in a hurry. And that's why you end up finding that these people, they would rather just want to go out there and do whatever they are doing and forget about everything about their family. And that's why so many people have even refused, maybe their women, to get into politics. Because they say, now, am I married to this woman, or this woman is married to the politics she's doing? You see, so we can change this notion by doing it right, so that when you're here, let your family feel that you're back home, and whenever, even when you're out there, let your heart be ringing back home. You know, when you go there and your heart is home, they'll feel you. But if you just go there and forget about them, they'll also know that, oh, ule alituacha. Yeah, so it really affects families, yes, but it really depends with who is in the center of this. Are you somebody who really values your family more than even whatever you are doing, in terms of thinking about them and doing something that would really make them feel that our mother or my wife is out there working, but she's really into our marriage, you know, so it would do you good.
And as a counselor, how can you advise women out there when you're kwa siasa ama ambao wanatoka kwenda kwa siasa, on how to make sure that they balance between politics and also this side, the other side, making sure, in general, just making sure that their behavior inabaki ile ile.
Yeah, I know there are things that might change, yes, but still, if you have a passion for something, you really know how to work it out, you know, as in you can divide yourself in whatever way, because your heart is out for this thing, but you really know where your position also is in terms of the society or the family, you see. So when this happens, you find that this is somebody who really knows how to divide the time, you know, and also the position that she is in, such that she cannot just go ahead and do the politics without thinking about the family, you see. And so this balance, I cannot really tell you that this is where you're going to place yourself, but what I can tell you is that you have to balance it in terms of what is it that your heart is telling you. Do I love my family? Yes. Do I love my job? Yes. So if I love these two things, then how do I divide myself? Then within you, you'll find that you can program yourself so that you can divide yourself into these two positions without, you know, hurting one of the two. You know, so it is possible with that person who is out to do this. And that's why I was saying it has to be somebody who has a passion for politics to get into politics. But somebody who was pushed into it, you'll find that she'll land onto one side rather than landing onto the other side. I mean, not really balancing the two of them. So what I'm saying here, in essence, is that please, if you have a passion for this, I know it will be very automatic within you. Ni kama vile wamama huwa tunalea watoto wetu, you know, and also maybe doing some professional job out there, or venturing into whatever we are doing even within our home. Yeah, I think there was a time we were discussing here about, you know, cleanliness of the home and all that stuff, and the children and raising them. So this is to say that when you have a passion for something, you will always find an equilibrium point where you can balance yourself, and it is very automatic from within you, because you know the value of everything that you are doing. So in terms of politics and also in terms of family, those people who are in this, and they are in this with their whole heart, they really do know that yes, we are in politics, and again, we are also women back at home. So they can do this and they can do it good. And I know if you get to those women leaders or women in politics who really are in this, and they know how to go about it. They've done it for years without messing up with their families, you see. But there are others we've seen, the moment they get into politics, everything breaks loose. Why? Because they really don't know how to, it is not automatically within them. So it is something that they are sourcing. And when you start sourcing like that, it will not work out, because you'll be comparing this and this, and then you try to put this here, you try to. But when it is something that is within you, it means all the puzzle pieces will come together just easily, because it's something that runs within you. So you'll know how to balance yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Irene. Let's go for a short commercial break. We'll be back. The program on air is Women, Maisha Prime Women Talk, where real women engage. And our topic today is women and politics. You can engage with us Facebook and YouTube, Maisha Television Kenya, Instagram and Twitter at Maisha TV KE, or 0746 999 841. My name is Rida Chebet Kering, and today I'm with Irene Mumbo Bushebi. Stay tuned.
It is not enough to be a leader. You don't walk when you're supposed to run, and you don't run when you're supposed to walk. You don't have to wait for a crisis to create a solution. You must have a plan. You must know that when you get knocked down, you must get up. To lead Kenya, you must understand Kenya. No one needs to tell you how hard life is for Kenyans. Hunger, poverty, terrorism, local ethnic and religious conflicts, corruption and bribery, disease outbreaks, and the list goes on. Kenya is an idea stronger than any army, more powerful than any dictator or tyrant, an idea that gives hope to many lives and future to all Kenyans. On August 9th, we are going to select leaders for this country. Make a wise choice.
In the course of my state visit to the Republic of Jamaica,
You can change the rhythm of slavery, but never.
Jamaica.
Greeting Mr. Kenyatta today in Jamaica. Come back home.
You have a choice to make.
Ndio sisi tunataka hii azimio ambayo itatulete pamoja. Because
Bwana Gavana, Bwana Waitito, Bwana Waitito.
Huyu daktari wa Kakamega anaitwa Boni Khalwale.
Wewe Toli.
Khalwale kwa jina la Kibaluya ni mgonjwa.
Atwoli, how do you know?
Khalwale na Khalwale, akatiti Khalwale, kamgonjwa kadogo.
Atwoli, how dare you? Wewe ni mshenzi sana. Atwoli, wanuya sisi sio shenzi. I am a doctor of medicine. I don't know what you are. Yes, sir.
Na hako nilikaombea, nikasema katakufa kaombaji bega.
Wewe koma wewe.
Najua kule Central nimesikia wengine wakisema hapa tuliwaibia. Kuna kaukweli kidogo. Lakini kujua kama tulijua kuiba si hata hii tutafanya nini? Alafu
Aliongea akasema kulikuwa na wizi ya kura. Hiyo mimi nataka kuambia William Ruto, hiyo ni ukweli mtupu. Supreme Court ilikuwa imebatilisha, ilitupa nje uchaguzi wa tarehe 8 mwezi wa 8 2017.
Sasa nilikuwa kuangalia kama mmechunga vizuri, na ninaona watu wengine wamejawa na makasiriko. Tuambia wachani makasiriko. Wachani makasiriko.
William Ruto, heshimu mkubwa yako ambaye ni Rais Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta.
Kazi haifanywi juu ya gari.
Anybody imagining that they can deny me the credit for the things we did that succeeded in Jubilee are wasting their time.
Tumesonga.
You plan theory in offices, but you execute practicals in the field, sometimes on top of cars.
Unajua mimi leo nimefanya anaingia ICU, anaingia ward, anaingia theater.
Bwana Gavana, Bwana Waitito, Bwana Waitito.
Dr. Dolittle, the Queen has fallen gravely ill.
Let's get to work.
Everyone pack your bags.
You can talk to animals.
Hello, Barry. Hello, lunch.
What's our next move?
The magical Eden tree on an uncharted island. It's a perilous journey. I'm too beautiful to die.
Are you ready for the adventure of a lifetime?
Oh my gosh!
Nothing to be ashamed of.
Like our Facebook page, Maisha Television Kenya, Twitter @MaishaTVKE, and Instagram @MaishaTVKE. Check out our website www.maishatv.co.ke. Maisha TV. Najivunia kuwa Mkenya. Na ninajali matukio yanayojiri nchini Kenya na ulimwengu mzima. Natazama runinga ya Maisha ili nipate habari kamili. Naichagua, naitazama na ninaipenda. Maisha TV ni bora.
Did you know you have a right to information?
Join me here on Maisha Prime News.
Join me every Saturday and Sunday on Maisha Prime Weekend.
Join me every day on Maisha Prime News as I bring you the segment My Hustle, My Story.
As we focus on current affairs, issues on political, social and economic arena.
Where we bring you incisive and authoritative news.
At Maisha TV, we make it easier for you to access information.
At exactly 8 p.m. East African time, join me, Rida Kering Chebet.
My name is Millicent Makoha.
My name is Brian Gunn.
The stage is set. The time is now. Credible news. It is Prime News. Only on Maisha TV. Prepare for the beast. Informative. Authoritative, unbiased. Welcome to Maisha News.
Alright, welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. This is Maisha Prime Women Talk, where real women engage. And my name is Rida Chebet Kering, and of course I'm not alone in studio. I'm joined by Irene Mumbo Bushebi, and today we are talking about women and politics, which Irene amesema si mbali sana na wanawake na viongozi. And sana sana tumeamua ku venture into this topic because currently tunaona that wanasiasa sasa wanaanza kutembea, wanaitisha zile kura zetu, na nataka kuona umuhimu wa wanawake kuwa pale ni nini. So Irene, with women venturing into politics, what does this mean to the society?
I think what it really means now is that we are empowering our women. Yeah, because we know back there where women were not supposed to be in politics, yeah. And so it means we've elevated the level of understanding in the society, and now we understand that even women can be in politics and they can do good. We've seen women who are really doing good in politics, and with that we are also encouraging even those societies that were not looking into women going to school as something that now is very important. And so the society is coming to a place where they realize that we really need to take a girl child to school, rather than the fact that was there that women or ladies or young girls are supposed to just be home and do the home chores. So we can say that we are elevating the society to a different level. Yeah.
And based on the way we've seen the politicians wenye kwa uongozi sahi ambao ni wanawake na wanaume, how can you gauge the performance of women and compared to that those of men?
Okay, because I'm saying that not really so many women are into politics right now, yet still. We can't really compare this from a one-to-one level of probability, but we can look at it in terms of just the performance of those ones who have been in politics. And so we can say that those who are there, we can say that they've really helped to where they can. And we can't really compare them, as I'm saying, one to one, because we know that still the number of women in politics is not really comparable to the number of men in politics. And so this is to say that yes, we can see something good, but we can still not put it back to back with the men. But we know that if women will be up to that good number, then we can start comparing this, and I know it will give us good fruits, because I know women are people who are very emotional in whatever they are doing, and so when they put this into their work, it means that they really feel people and feel that, you know, people need this and this. And when talking about this, I know for women, I know that there is at least once where a woman, whether she's a leader or not, she decided to pick her basket and walk to the, or ride or drive to the market, or a marketplace where other people are, and mingle with them, and even buy some of these things or ask their prices. Unlike men, whom I know, it's not something that it will just come automatically. And even for women, we know that even when they are growing up, there were young girls who could be sent to market and know the need. There were people who went getting water into those places, hizo streams za huko ndani, so they know what it means. Or kama wanatoka katika those arid areas, they know what it means waking up very early in the morning to go look for water, and maybe you go for 2 days or 3 days looking for the same water, you know. So there are people who can really relate to other people in the society, and so because of this, I know there's much they can put into the society, and when we put this into comparison now to men, we can see something good, you know. So this is why I'm saying that the number of women now still is not tallying with the number of men, and this is why we can't gauge it in terms of what they've done, putting it into what men have done. I know men have done so much, because so far the women still, the number is not tallying with what the number of men, you know, in politics.
We've seen that we have 2 women governors and we have 47 counties. Can you say this is a challenge, because the government is really trying to empower the girl child, but bado kwa uongozi, even we saw in the neighboring country Tanzania, the deputy president was a woman, and when the president died, now it's a woman who is the president. But here in Kenya, the president is mwanaume, the deputy president ukienda kule speaker ambaye ni watatu katika nchi ni mwanaume, wanne pia ni mwanaume.
This still talks big about our belief in our culture, but now it's becoming a challenge to us as we look into other countries, other nations, whatever they are doing, and so it means we have to pull up our socks a little bit. And even talking on to the number of numbers, I mean the governors, we only have 2 governors, and then we have 47 counties, meaning there's still a big range of, you know. So this is to tell us that we really, okay, you are saying that we've really empowered the girl child, but we still can't see them in the aspect of leadership, you know. So yes, and this is why we are saying and still pleading and talking to our people, because I know when you talk about this, it's not really sometimes about the government so much, it is about us, the society. Because who votes in these people? It's us.
Wakati mwanamke alisimama president na watu walimwangusha.
So people really talk you out of it. You see, so it's still the society. What is it that we want? So if we want these women to be there, they'll be there because we'll vote them in. But if still we have this feeling that, you know, a woman, it still will put us there. So the problem is not really even the government as we are trying to cite it out. It's us, the society. Because even when we talk about government, we are talking about still us in the government. So what are we doing as the government? Because we've seen a lot of fights sometimes when we want to put a woman in a certain position, and everybody is up in arms that, you know what, a woman cannot do this. And still, we still also come back to our women. When you're given a position to work, you know, or to do something, please do it so that somebody cannot have any negative to pull out from you. So that the next time they think about the woman, they are thinking about the good things they did see when a woman was in the helm of everything. So yes, I know we are still low in numbers, and that still rolls back to the society. What are we doing after empowering these girls? Are we really giving them positions in leadership, or we just want to empower them and let them be there and still think about women in the kitchen and just giving birth and all that stuff? So if our mind is still there, because we know that women, as much as we empower them in positions of leadership, we can also teach them how to balance, as we've just been talking, how to balance their work and their families. So so that the issue that crops up every other time you're talking about a woman that she really needs to take care of her home, that's why she cannot be in leadership, can be eradicated, so that we know that a woman can really balance herself in her place of work and also in her family.
There's a time when we had defense, yes, alikuwa mwanamke, and then something happened na alikuwa na ile azina na address press na ile uchungu ya mama na watu wakaongea sana saying that women are weak, supposed kupewa role kubwa kama especially your cabinet ambayo ni ya defense. Unaweza sema that maybe they wanatumia ile kasumba ya women are weak.
Yeah, most probably that's what they would be looking into. But I don't think, even when Madam Oma, she called Obama or somebody, when she was doing this, it was that the feeling, you know, sometimes you feel about it. But I think when she gets into the office, she does her work well. So her tears and her work are two different things. So for those people who are talking, I think, yes, it can show the weakness in her, but you can really gauge that with her work in the office, rather than just talking about the tears that you did see. Because I think sometimes these tears, they also even help the women, even the men. Sometimes they become so hard not crying. And then they break down. But for the women, when they cry like that, everything becomes normal, because you know they've broken it down into small pieces, so it's easy to swallow. So yes, I know everybody would be thinking that they really don't need such tough, you know, cabinet slots. But whatever they are doing in the office, I think is the most important thing. So look into that rather than looking into their emotions. You see, and if it is the issue of emotion, then that's something we understand. Women are like that, but they can do much more. Yeah, because we see women crying like that, shedding tears, but they're the same people who have given birth to those big people in those big positions you're talking about. Yeah, because if she could not have given birth to somebody to be in that slot, kulia yake hiyo ndio ilimsaidia kamzaa huyo mtu ambaye akasimama hapo. So however big, however strong that person is, this person has come from that lady who has been shedding tears. So don't look at her and gauge her in terms of her tears, but look at her and gauge her in terms of what she can do. So if she can give birth to such a strong person, it means she's more stronger even than that person. Yeah, so you can't just talk to me about the tears and leave alone what she can do, and then try to tell me that you are trying to push her away from there simply because she's shedding tears. That's a natural thing that happens to everybody, unless you just refuse it, but it's supposed to be naturally there.
Anasema machozi ya wanaume huwa haikuji. And also these positions like the women rep, nominated, hizi nini za kupewa tu. Can you say that also it's making women to shy off from going and kwenda kungangana na wale wanaume? Like in Bungoma, I saw a lady was saying that for now, currently, wale ambao wanataka ile slot ya women rep wamefika 20. Alikuwa anajaribu kwa encourage, kuna positions zingine enda MCA, but women wamerudikana huku kwa women because wanataka compete na wamama peke yao, wanaogopa compete na wanaume.
Yeah, there is that fear also, and now this one puts us to a place where it's really difficult to make decisions. But I would encourage women there. You know, sometimes when you do something that is just above you, because what I know with women, you can do better. It's only that fear strikes you at first sight. You really think that what will happen. But if you get out of that cocoon of the fear, you'll find that you can do better. So even those women who are there in the women rep slot, please can you get out and venture into other things? It can work out for you. You know, the problem is the society, how they look at us. But if somebody, you know, somebody was talking about this, that, you know, a leader, when you're somewhere, the composure that you'll be having about yourself, the assurance that you can be giving people from even your body language would really tell them that you're capable of doing this. So women, if you can go out and fight for those positions, you know, when I'm talking about fight, I'm not talking about you putting on some trousers and going out with those clubs, you know, and starting. I'm talking about, you know, being competent enough. You see, so that if you're given something to do it right. Yes, because even this time, the only thing that men maybe are doing is trying to talk to people so that they can vote them in. And also looking into those things, they call them manifestos and all that stuff. Think about something that you can do that maybe is different from what every other man has said. And one thing I also know about women is that they can easily convince a crowd. So why are you fearing? So get into these manifestos, know what they are all about, you know, that's why we are saying you went to school for it. So if you schooled for it, you know something about it. Use it properly, you see, and then you know, get out there and talk to people, just like the other people are talking to people. I know what makes women fear from this is because of hizo fights zikianza, because men sometimes start fighting. But you can always be safe if you believe in being safe, you know, that is putting everything in place. And whenever such things also happen, you can take cover, women. You have to be flexible enough so that, because you know whom you're dealing with. Lakini kama utaenda tu pale and you really don't know anything about nothing, my friend, you'll be in for it. So get out of those areas of fear, and then be strong enough to face whatever comes up. And that is with the competency that you have, rather than the fist, because when you come to fist, you cannot make it. So you can be competent enough, that is, have enough information about what you're going to do. And then when you get out there, you are sure of what you're going to do. And then basically, again, I think God talks about everything is possible. So there is no impossibility if you believe in God. Yeah.
Hapo mbeleni umesema that it's also us, the society, which is making women not to be in those places, because kuna hiyo unapata that wanasema ai mwanamke hawezi kazi, let's select mwanaume. Can you say also it's the ile malezi, umelelewa ukijua that mwanamke hafai kuwa kwa uongozi fulani, mwanaume ndio ni the head, so ina grow hadi ikifika katika ku elect leaders, president mwanamke no, ni mwanaume pekee yake anaweza.
Yeah, and you know, maybe si hata malezi peke yake, ni vile pia tumezaliwa tukipata hii mambo ikiwa, you know, so we are like, no, not a woman. And again, also even coming from the level of our Christian religion about it, you know, we are always told the man is the head, you know, and we know, as I've just mentioned, the family is the unit that forms the society. And so when we relate the family and the society, we get to the same answer, that, you know, the man is the head. Yeah. Yes, the man can be the head or might be the head, but what we do know, that head really needs a support, which is the neck. So and minus the neck, the head cannot work. And if that is the case, then it means the person who is running the head is the neck. You see, and that's why they always come up with that saying that behind or besides a successful man, there is a woman. Why they say that is that they know most of these things, even when those men go out there and they are broken into pieces, the person who comes back to console them is the woman. So if you know how to console person, it means you can go out there and face the situation that they are facing, because you have the idea of how to handle it. You see, so that's why we are saying yes. The society, we've been looking into this like this, and again, because of how we were raised, and that's why we did say here that raising children, please raise them as one. Let them know that they can do everything. But at the point where you're raising them that this is a girl, she cannot do this, this is a boy, she cannot do this, that is where we'll end in the society as well. Because hata ndugu yake akiona ati anasimama upresident anambia, hey bwana, you cannot make it, and I cannot even vote for you, because I know how strong or how weak you are. You see, and so if your own brother cannot vote for you, who is going to vote for you? Nobody, because he's going to convince this people that nani mkimweka hata hawezi. She's always a crying machine, you know, like they were saying, the tears. Yeah, so when he knows that is the thing, he will influence others. But that should not be the case. We should be raised as one until if the other sees, if the boy sees the girl wanting to get into that position, he really knows that the girl is well able. You see, she can do it. Yeah, and like when we raise them like this one is special because she's a girl, this one is like this because he's a boy, you know, we'll end up where you know, from the single unit, which is now the family, we can also not even support ourselves, because we know these are some of the things that we cannot do. You see, and that is why we are even encouraging in our schools, please, whatever we are doing, kama mtu ana talent kwa njia fulani, msisema ati huyu ni msichana hawezi fanya. I think I gave you the example of that girl Conjestina when she was in school and what she used to do. She used to do this football, the girls football, and whenever she was playing, everybody akikuja na mpira kila mtu anamwachia mpaka naenda naingiza. Maana the girls were like, you see, and it earned her some things, though she's all back there. But we know that, you know, if you raise somebody with whatever they are having, because I know even this talent of politics starts as young as the child is. And if you raise them having that in them, you know, they have some level where they can speak out and people can understand what they are speaking, and they are allowed to do that, you know, in whatever level. And again, when I'm talking about allowing them, I'm talking about allowing them to do the positive. You know, that is where everything also starts, because we are talking about when women are given positions in leadership, they change. The reason why they are changing is because even when they were growing up, if they did something, they were only bound to change because they need to do it the other way. So if there is something that needs to be raised, then it has to be raised with all the positivities put in, so that they know this is what accompanies this, rather than, you know, them just doing something that is not right and then maybe they are encouraged to do it simply because they are women. You see that. So that is what we are talking about. The society, yes, it is really influencing, but we can still raise our children in a different way, telling them that they can do it if they have the talent and the passion to do the same.
Nadhani kwamba serikali pia inafaa iangalie vile shule, unakumbuka kule primary kulikuwa na head boy na head girl. So deputy akiwa mwanamke, president akuwe mwanaume, kuwe na head boy na head girl. Now Irene, tukimalizia, what is your advice to women wale ambao wanataka kuingia katika siasa na wale ambao pia wako kwa siasa pia sasa?
What I would tell them is that you are well able. Hakuna kitu inakufanya usitoshane na wengine or the men. So please just go ahead and do it, but make sure that you're doing the positive part of it. The negative wachia wale wanataka kufanya. But if you push up yourself with the positivity, I know that when you're starting, everybody will not be for you. And you'll feel like, now I'm doing this, and it's like, yes, let people not be for you, but can you raise that so that we change the society as we go up? But if we are only going to venture into this because people are applauding us because we are doing the wrong things, I think that is not the right thing. And again, for women, again, I'm telling you, please go out. If you have a passion for this, you've gone to school for this, don't fear. Just face whatever comes your way, because you can make it.
Thank you so much, Irene, and my advice is also the same. Tunaweza tusingoje tu zile slots za women rep kuwa nominated. Tunaweza baki na wanaume kule kwa field, kwa zile areas za MPs, hata president. Tusiache tu wanaume. So thank you so much, Irene, and thank you so much to our viewers for being with us since the start of the program, Maisha Prime Women Talk, where real women engage. My name is Rida Chibet Kering, and my guest today was Irene Mbobushedi. Continue engaging with us, Facebook and YouTube, Maisha Television Kenya, Instagram and Twitter at Maisha TV KE. Also, we have our phone number, which is 0746 99841. See you next time.